Hey, there she is. Morning, Summer.
Good morning. How are y'all?
Whew.
Great.
Great. Great. Our kiddos have spring break today. And Allie Kate, she's used to seeing me get on Zooms at night, and she goes, "Are you getting on there like that?" I said, "The directors, they know that we can get on however on Monday mornings." And she's like, "But aren't you going to take your headband out at least?" She's like so funny. She's starting to straighten her hair and curl her hair and wanting to wear it. I'm like, oh, I am not ready for all this, y'all. I go to try to find my shoes. They're not where they were. I'm sure if you've had girls, you can relate. My hair ties. I'm like,
How old's your daughter?
she's 10.
10. That's what I thought.
The good news,
Mine's 12.
she's going to be way taller than me. So this, like, being able to wear my clothes and stuff is not going to last very long. And she's going to be too tall for my stuff in 2 years. But right now, she is, loving my closet. So, did everybody have a good weekend?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. Did
great.
you?
Mhm.
We did. We had a great weekend. We didn't have a race this weekend, which was very unusual. He is racing this weekend at UT, but we had the weekend off from racing, which was nice to have a day at home. And yesterday we watched the Masters all day, of course. So that was really awesome. Um,
Praise the Lord. He finally won. I'm so excited.
I know. For those of you that are not golfers, Rory McIlroy's played in 17 Masters, and he's probably the greatest golfer that hasn't won the Masters, right,
Yeah,
Jennifer? Like
absolutely.
he's won everything else but the Masters, and it's become this thing. Like he would be winning on the last day and then choke and like miss putts, like easy putts. And yesterday he made some really bad
Yeah.
shots, but he stayed in it. And oh, when he won, I mean, even if you should just go watch the video when he won, the emotion of like, and we know what it's like when you fight for a victory for 17 years, like, and
Wow.
him and his wife had some issues and they worked that out a year ago. And so his wife and his little girl were there, and just, it's all the things in life, y'all, that we have to fight through. It's always a head game. Like, of course he can hit that putt. Of course he can. But we sabotage ourselves, right? Like even the top one percenters in all the world can do that. And so that's why we spend so much time talking about the head and the heart, because it's not his golf skill that won or lost him the game yesterday. His golf skill is as great as anybody's that's ever been. It's getting in that moment and feeling the pressure. Allie Kate was even watching it and she was like, oh, I can't take the pressure. I can't walk around. And I said, well, Allie, champions step into pressure and they're like, this is the moment I'm made for, and go hit that ball because you know what you're doing. And that's, I want to challenge you to not look at stress and pressure that way, because normal as a child to feel that way about it. But we can either fight or flight from it, right? It can be like, this is the moment that I'm born for. I'm going to do my thing that God has called me to do, right? Or we can flight from it. And when we flight from it, that's when we sabotage ourselves. Anyway, um, just such a great time to see him win, and all the people that have invested in him, his mom and his dad and all his team. And isn't that the same for us? Think about your victories and how many people
Going
in your life have
all
invested
the way around.
in you,
Watch, Nana.
um, all along the way. So, Adrian, I'm gonna make you the co-host, and then Gina too, so that way y'all can help me keep everybody muted. But it was really awesome to see him win that yesterday. And I didn't really care who won going into the weekend, and Craig's favorite golfer is not McIlroy. I really love Scotty Scheffler, but he wasn't in contention to win yesterday. And um, as the day went on, I'm like, I hope he wins, because gosh, that guy, there's something to be said about never giving up, y'all. And that's what he said to his little girl. Like, if I could say one thing to my daughter today, it would be never give up on your dreams. It's worth it. So, anyway, who had something exciting happen over the weekend you can't wait to share? Tell me some great news this morning.
Okay. I had one of my girls in New York do a book party
at a book club. She sold like $2,500 yesterday. She wasn't even there, y'all. She just handed out the book to the girl that was going to the book club, and she called her back that night with a $2,500 order.
What in the world? Lordy, Jillian, that's awesome. Look, all your hard work, friend, is just compounding. You have compound interest because all this hard work you've been doing month after month after month, and it so often does not show up when we're doing the work. It starts showing up month and month and month later. I'm so proud of you for just staying the course. You deserve these big fat things because you've been working your butt off, and we've all seen that. And it just takes 90 days, y'all. Like, and so many people give up before the 90 days is over. And that's when it starts compounding big time, where you start seeing the big things. You see some of it before then. But just so often people don't keep at it long enough. Gosh, that's awesome. Somebody else, something exciting.
I'm excited because one of my teammates, I went and helped her do her party, and she did just about $600 with 6 guests and 2 outside orders. So I'm excited.
Misty, which team member was that?
That was Amy.
Awesome. Amy Dixon.
Yes, and we got her daughter is doing her debut party this coming Tuesday night.
And how many does Amy have on her team?
5.
5. And then Casey has how many?
6.
6. And so, y'all, Missy has in over 4,000 wholesale already and 8 new as our first month in DIQ. Like, you, so excited for you, Misty. So
Thank you.
And you've been such a hard worker for so long in your business and like adding people, adding people, adding people. And you finally have some people who are excited with you. And that's what makes all the difference. And we're just, oh my gosh, all the obstacles you've had the last few months. You're just such an overcomer, friend.
Well, you're exactly right about, excuse me, you're actually right about the 90-day course. I had a heart-to-heart talk with Jonna in December about what I could do to make my next 6 months count. And that was do 30 faces in 30 days. She challenged me. In January, I started doing it. And within actually the week that my husband passed, I had to cancel the party, which was Amy, and she rescheduled. But anywho, I needed 5 to get my 30 faces. February, I didn't work. And then March, I needed 5 to have my 30 faces. So you're exactly right about doing the 90-day challenge. It really does make a difference. And I think what one thing helped me was to listen to y'all and be duplicatable, because you always say, don't give up. Don't let anything get in your way. And I could have done that in January.
Yeah.
I probably would have.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I had the leadership from y'all.
Well, you did the work, friend. Guess what? We've taught all the consultants in the area the same thing, but you're doing it. And so you owe you got to take all the credit because literally, all the things that Jonna has taught you, all the things I've taught you, we've taught them to everybody else, haven't we, Jonna? But you're the one doing it. You're doing it.
So proud of her.
So proud. So proud. And just how many people you're inspiring, like, to overcome. Life is hard. I say that all the time. My whole career, Mary Kay's not hard, y'all. Life's hard.
That's right. And I want to just praise God this morning for being so good to me. And I'm still working on me, and he's still working on me. But Mary Kay has changed my life. And I don't mean that to boast on Mary Kay, but the influence you women give when y'all stand up and speak, when you do calls on Wednesday nights, you may not realize that you're really helping anybody, but that's what we need. We need women to stand up and say, hey, this was my story. This is where I came from. Because we all need to be inspired, and y'all have done that for me. I've been in business ever since I was 10 years old with my parents. I know business. I knew personal skills, but did I use them all the time? No. You get in that rock and you just hide under that rock when you hear so much negativity. And it's just like that song, Truth. If you not listen to it, you need to go listen to it because that's exactly what woke me up. When we went to fall retreat and Rick Speed got up there and talked, he was talking to me. So this business is not just a business. This is my mission. And I know God's in it. And I know he's taking me places and he's going to take my team places.
Yes, ma'am.
And this is my year.
Yeah.
And I'm going to quit talking because I know you got other things to do today.
No,
But I love each and every one of y'all. Thank you for all your support, money that you sent to help me. It does not go unnoticed. And I just thank you all from the bottom of my heart for being real and being inspiring. And if you don't think you've been inspired, trust me, you have. So on Wednesday nights when y'all don't want to get on because you got other family things you want to do, just remember there's a Misty that needs to hear you.
friend, you just took us to church this morning on Monday morning. Praise the Lord.
And I had unmuted to say that I was excited about Misty and her DIQ team already having her $4,000 in this month. So, but I'm so proud of her because in February, at the end of February, she was really frustrated and kind of wanted to give up because she hadn't been able to work. And I'm like, that's okay. Nobody expected you to work. But remember, you're going to have that 90-day cycle and you worked through December and January. So you're going to still reap those rewards, and look at her now. So she's doing it and she's doing it well. So anyway, and we have 5 and 5 and we have 9 new, and they were rocking it out. So I'm so excited for them. I also met a girl at a event Friday. It was a teacher event. And I've already booked 2 from that. But I met a girl that when she was little, her mom was in Mary Kay and Friends. And she said, my dream when I was growing up was to drive a pink car. So I'm contacting her today because I told her even though she was teaching, she could still have that dream. So y'all pray that she still wants to live out her dream.
So great. So great. So many exciting things. Somebody else, what are you excited about from over the weekend?
Hey, I got to pick up the 2025. It was a different car pickup, y'all. My husband and I just swung in and swapped them out on a busy Saturday morning for them. But the new emblem is absolutely gorgeous. It's just like our product, you know, the whole block lettering. It is so gorgeous, and got to check out the electric one too. And it's super sweet inside. But that was just super great. I'm going to do pictures and stuff here at the house and then put it on social media. But also had a huge booking blitz and had 3 people on Friday, some people over the weekend, but today I have a party at noon and some people coming later, and like this whole week just rocking it out here at the house with personal facials and parties. And so super excited about just getting my power start done this week.
Love it, Cassandra. Love it. Who else? Something exciting from the weekend.
I'm excited. I had a power-packed weekend. Friday, I had a 2:30 party with a newer consultant, and she sold over like $1,000. Saturday, drove to Raleigh and back, had a debut. She sold 1,200. And then yesterday, the lady from Friday was like, oh, I can do this one by myself. She did 7 more faces and sold over 400 by herself. So, y'all, I'm super excited about that because, you know, it's not just, it's duplicating. So excited about that.
It is duplicating. You guys have got to keep the foot on the pedal to the metal right now and keep them working full circle, and make sure we're getting the party posts in the group so everybody sees that. It becomes like, hey, everybody's doing faces, then they like know they can do it too. And so that's so important. I've seen so many of you guys party. I know Susan's had parties posted, Victoria's had parties posted. Gosh, almost all of you. So just keep up the great work. Like, we're really making big things happen right now that are going to explode. And, you know,
Tanya and Mandy and I are going to do an event at Hickory Tavern by my house tomorrow night. So pray that that's super successful.
yeah, absolutely. We definitely will be. Y'all. Just keep it up. You know, April starts out slower because it's after the end of the quarter and all that and the big push of March. But really looking at, you know, who you're going to add to your team this week is so important. We have 30 new right now. We need 200 by the end of the month. So we still got a lot to do. And it is Easter this weekend. So that kind of, you know, of course, people are going to take time off for Easter a couple days anyway. But just making sure you have your date book full, making sure you're connecting with your key people today, getting them excited about being on target for the cruise this month or whatever they're running for. Don't forget Wednesday night, we have Power Up. I will be on there this week. Joshua does not have a race this week, so I'm excited about that. Then 8:30 will be Peak in the Pink, and I'll have the post up by tomorrow about that. Red Rally and Directors Meeting May the 2nd. So Directors Meeting that morning, 10 to 12:30, and then Red Rally that evening. So make sure your Reds get registered. And of course, you are welcome to come too. If you want to come, let me know. Would love to have some of you share with them. So powerful for them to hear from you. Because they just think you woke up in a suit and it wasn't hard for you. So when they hear from you, that is so powerful. Other things I need to tell you. May 12th is seminar registration. May the 12th is seminar registration. We did get the hotel list from Mary Kay yesterday. So there's like 8 hotels, I think. The Westin is not one of them. They already had something going on because this was so last minute. So just know that like the Inner Circle met with Ryan and Candy while they were in Dallas and for Inner Circle weekend. They are doing everything they can, but, you know, they literally found out like August the 12th that they could not have seminar in Dallas. They were literally in a meeting with the hotels for concessions for next year about 2026, this seminar, 2025, sorry, and literally got called out of the meeting from the city to tell them, no, we're going to be renovating the convention center this summer. And so it has been a scramble for them to figure all these pieces out. And so we know it looks different, but it's going to be amazing. And this is our one chance to get the most people there ever. So you can either get in the weeds over this is different and I don't like some of the different, or you can get on the train of I can get more people there because it's local and people don't have to buy a plane ticket. Because I don't know where it's going to be next year, but they told us for sure it's not going to be Charlotte because 2026 was already in the works because they knew this, that they could not have seminar in Dallas in 2026. They already knew that ahead. So that was already like figured out before this one. So just be excited. It's in Charlotte, y'all, and we're going to make it great. It's just going to be different, but we know different. We did our own seminars in Fort Mill and Greenville, those, right? Like, and those were amazing too. I mean, those are going to be some of my greatest memories of my whole career. Seeing y'all come together the way our team came together in the middle of a dang pandemic when nobody else was doing anything to make that happen. So it's going to be great. And it's going to hold a special place in people's hearts because we go to Dallas every year. Even though they're all amazing, sometimes they can blend together year after year after year. This one won't because it's completely different. So anyway, the hotels are the Element, the JW Marriott, the Sheraton, Le Meridian, Embassy Suites. That's 5 of them. I'm trying to think of the rest, y'all, off the top of my brain. The Hilton Garden Inn, the Hilton. I can't remember. I'll send you guys a list. The most expensive is the JW Marriott by far. Like by far, it's like $345 without the plus on it. There's some that are in the 180 range. So there's a big price range. And we have requested meeting space at the Embassy Suites. Y'all cross your fingers, toes, and pray that works out. Craig went to Uptown to look at the ballroom space, the different places. Like the Sheraton, the Meridian have plenty of ballroom space, but they are like far out. So they are going to provide shuttle service from those hotels because it's too far to walk. Way too far to walk. It's like almost a 277. If you're familiar with Uptown, it's way too far to walk in the 90-degree humid heat. But that would be our second choice if we can't get ballroom space at Embassy Suites for our area night. But the Embassy Suites is, you know, a lot of you stayed there at Career Conference. It's super nice. It's newer, free breakfast. They have a big ballroom. So, we would also get everybody's rooms a suite so we could still do our after party. If we stay anywhere else, Craig and I aren't going to have a suite. So that presents other things to think about. So that's 2 reasons we're trying to get there. We won't know till May the 5th, though, which is the day that we register. So, our plan is still to do our directors meeting on 00 at 1:00. If the hotel cannot accommodate us, Mary Kay may give us a room at the convention center, which is totally fine with me. I don't want to do our area night at the convention center because of trying to move stuff back and forth. That would be crazy. But the directors meeting, we can pull that off there, or we'll find a restaurant to do it. But I feel like they'll be able to accommodate us because most people don't do stuff on day 00. Like, we're one of the few that are doing events that day. So we might just be able to get it at the hotel, which would be amazing, but we'll see. And then awards night 0, and just, I believe we'll get accommodated because of our ranking. I mean, we're like top 20 or 30 in the company. And most people don't do their awards night that night. And especially with the Pink and Royals thing, 3 to 5, most people are going to do it on day 2. And so I feel like by doing it on day 0, we are more likely to get. So we've been strategic and thinking about all this too, to try to get what we want. And then, after we get those 2, we're going to do our best to still figure out a red rally for the morning of Expo Day. We've been invited to be part of this elite leadership thing, but it's 11 to 3 and it's just too much. There's no way we can do Expo, Red Rally, Pink and Royals, and our area night that night. But just know, it's not going to be a Dallas seminar. We might have we should have a stage, but I don't know if we'll have risers for the head table. How they're always up, and it might be balloon only decorations because we're not going to get a workroom unless we pay a lot of money to have one in Dallas. They gave us all those things, so it's literally going to be like the prizes and decorations we can fit in our hotel room. So it's just going to be different logistically, but we're going to figure it out, and we're committed to that, and I want you to know that. But that is our plan right now. So just pray that, God will show us his favor. If he has a different plan, that he'll just unveil that plan, and we're going to go with it and make it the best seminar ever. One issue for us is that some of the hotels that are a little bit more affordable don't have the ballroom space for us. So, we feel like we're going to need 150 to 200 for our awards dinner because of it being in Charlotte. Don't you guys agree? Like, fall retreat is usually this year it was over 200. And so a lot of the hotels don't have a meeting room that big for rounds for dinner. So anyway, questions about seminar right now. They do have the schedules out on In Touch now, so you can go look at that and see what the company stuff is. Is going on, and we will make our schedule, but you just know the one we're going to put out is going to be super tentative because until we have confirmation that we can get the space that we need and all that. But I'll go ahead and put Red Rally on there like normal, and directors meeting like normal, and area night. And we're just going to, because the Pink and Royals reception is 3 to 5, it is a pink non-formal dress. So y'all all have a pink dress, right? We're just going to wear that to our area night. We don't have time to change. So it's just going to be a not casual, but not sequin gown area night this year to make it super simple. I mean, we'll finish that reception at 5. We're probably going to open the doors at 5:30 and start dinner at 6. That will be, if we can get accommodated to do all that, that will be our plan, because the next morning is the first general session. We have to be over there early. And then it's our awards day that afternoon. So that's going to be different too. But the pieces are going to come together, y'all. Okay. And oh my gosh, this is nothing compared to everything we've navigated in the last 4 to 5 years, right? We've navigated so much change. So we're going to figure it all out. We're going to keep you updated. It's going to be awesome. And any questions about that so far? So Leslie, just like normal, the Expo Day is day 0, which is, I believe, the 27th, I think. So, we're going to plan to have a Red Rally somewhere that morning. So I would encourage them to come in the night before. I think it's hard to just get there and get, if they can be at the hotel the night before, get a good night's sleep, it just makes a big difference in their attitude during the whole event, especially new consultants. Don't you laugh at them? Like, we're doing 14 hours more than they are while we're there. And they're the ones that are like, I'm so tired. I'm going to go to bed. And I'm like, I've slept 3 hours. Just keep drinking the caffeine, baby. The calluses have calluses and they're bleeding, but you'll be all right. Suck it up, buttercup. Right? But they can't handle it because they're not used to it. So it's okay. But that's why it's so good for them to come in that day before. And for y'all, it's up to you whether you want to come in the morning 00 and just get there in time for the meeting to save a hotel room night, or if you want to come in a night before to get in a good night's sleep and relax, it's up to you. Mary Kay is going to have one big block of rooms. So everybody's just kind of on their own. You're going to really want to talk to your consultants now about getting registered because, that's going to be the thing with our new people. As they're getting registered, we're going to have to help them find hotel rooms because we know some people don't decide to go till the end of June, right? So trying to get as many as possible to go ahead, sign up on the 12th and be a room captain. We cannot be talking to them on the 12th about this. We got to get on it now and prepare people to get registered the day of. Mary Kay is doing 2 seminars at one time. That has never been done before. And I don't know how fast the rooms will be gone. And we'll find them hotel rooms somewhere. If they have to, like Cassandra was sharing about, they can even stay in Fort Mill and ride the light rail into the city, and it goes right to the Charlotte Convention Center from the Fort Mill stop. It's not that far. So there are other options. You want them to stay in Uptown, though, because there's a lot of back and forth, and it takes time to travel into the city. That would be like not my first preference for anybody. But we will find them places to stay. That's my point. So, all right. I'm so excited this morning to have Adrienne share with you. You guys know she just rocked it out, crushed it, and finished her beautiful pink calic with over 29,000 wholesale last month. She was the number 2 director on the call the $10,000 plus Zoom, which was absolutely awesome. So proud of her and all that she's making happen. And so she is going to share with you this morning. I hope you have pen and paper ready so you can take all the good notes from her.
Perfect. Yay. Thank y'all so much for letting me share with you. And of course, I have like the how to, like, how did we get here, right? I'm going to give you like the step-by-steps of what we did. This by far, every single goal that you have, you will have a memory by. So I have never worked harder for a goal, but I'm so grateful for the increase because it made me think differently and it helped me develop a new muscle that I didn't have before. And I'm going to share those piece by piece things with you. So like, how did we get here? First of all, of course it starts 6 months ago. I don't know why we act like we don't know that, but the report is from 6 months. So this is from October, November, December, January, February, March. Okay. So that's how you earn that Cadillac. And now it's 114,000 wholesale. Okay. And so, October, November, December, they were okay, but they weren't phenomenal months. Does that make sense? And in January, February, I think we did like 15,000. And so it left us in March to have to do 34. Okay. And I just remembered Cassandra's story of having to do 38. And I just thought, gosh, if she can do 38, I can go do 34. And that was my mindset from day one. I wanted to be under 30 so flipping bad that there's just like, that's what I wanted by February 28th. But I was like, you know what? It doesn't matter. Like, I'm still going to do it if it's 30 or 34, whatever. So the first thing that I did was on day one, I have a whiteboard in my office. It's not beautiful. Okay. So this isn't going to work. But anyways, okay, here we go. I don't know why it's doing that blurry thing. Okay. So it looks like this I always have it written up, but this is how I had it broken down. And I can post pictures of this in a little bit, but I just had like sections. The first one, my first section is personal qualifieds. I knew I had to get 10. Okay, because that's $12,000. I'm like, okay, great. That'll get me right about 20, right? That'll get me down to about needing 20,000. So I was willing to take personal responsibility. And so how did I get those people? Some were re-signs, some were new. How I met those new, I know that Carmen, I met her at Chick-fil-A. She wasn't from here. She's the one I went and did a party for this weekend. I did a party for her in Charleston, but then I drove to Raleigh where she's from, did a party. Kayla, the third one, she actually came from, she needed a new foundation. I sent her a packet in the mail, fell in love with the product. She saw me, she bought product from me. She bought about $200 through a video chat facial, just like this. And then she signed on my team when I asked her to when I was on the cruise, just because she saw pictures of me there. And I said, hey, did you see that sign on special today? She's like, no, what is it? I was like, it's $20. You get free product for doing it, blah, blah, blah. And she signed up while we were on the cruise. Two of these actually had teed out and didn't place an order because you know that T6, T7 limbo thing that happened. So they re-signed for 20. And then, I mean, I didn't have the rest of them filled out right here, but I had up to 10. I had people who would, different things that I was like, okay, what works for who? Okay, like what works for who? Every single person was different. One of them wanted to go on a band competition with her son. So I'm like, okay, we're going to do a party for a purpose. And we're going to sell product and you're going to send this message out. And here's it's literally like the $30, $30 whatever in 24 hours. But with your goal that you need to go with Deacon to his competition. Like this is going to pay for it. And so that's how we got her doing her order. And every single person was different. Okay. Then I have this little section of unit qualifieds. Okay. Unit qualifieds. So I have personal qualifieds and unit qualifieds because we still earn money on that, right? Once we get the 4 qualifieds. And so I'd track that. And then I also would talk into the recruiter. Okay, so and so, literally, y'all, I have this girl right now that's like $80 away from being Great Start qualified. You just want to hit your head. I'm like, this is a free product bonus for you plus your recruiter. I'm talking to her. You get a $50 bonus plus commission. And that also helps her move up. So I'm looking at that at all times and then offering them an extra incentive when she gets Great Start qualified because like a prize. I mean, whatever, pink Cadillac prize. 225. I want to show y'all this that I sent out. I had this ready to go on. I'm going to share this with y'all so you can see it. I literally don't even know. Let's see. How do I share? Share my screen. Okay. Y'all have to let me know if this works. Okay. Is it sharing my screen? Y'all have to let me know.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. So I made a thing, training. Okay. So I did this. So here's one of the parties for a purpose. I forgot to tell y'all that. She was wanting to be prom queen and it was all about raising money, which is crazy. But we did that. At the beginning of the month, I had this ready to send out on a postcard. I literally just made a pic collage, y'all, but I made a postcard and sent it to every single person. But I had it ready to go and send it out like February 28th because I was prepping for this. And it says, our team is wrapping up our being a 4-time Pink Cadillac unit. We're breaking history in our national area and we can use your help. It's going to take everybody, but we can do it. Text me when you get this to get details on all the prizes and promotions and snag this hot, whatever, the After Sun gel. I'm beyond grateful for you. And so everybody got that. So everybody knew the goal. Another thing that I want to share is this is my background. I know it looks funny, but I also had it in my car. I had this taped in my car, okay, so that I'd have to look at it all the time. And then my Cadillac tracking was on my refrigerator. Like you can ask Chastity, come into my house, it's on my refrigerator. Like instead of eating, you need to be filling in a circle. And so that's all I looked at. And I'll come back to this too. And then pictures just everywhere I looked. And then, of course, my last pink Cadillac pickup with my kids. Just knowing and visualizing these pictures were all over my house of how it was going to be when we picked it up again. So I wanted to share that. Put this back where I can see all y'all. So that was really important. So that's how we got there, but it was by deliberate decision. Everything starts with a deliberate decision. And so let's see. Okay, so that's 225. I just want to tell y'all, people that I thought and always come through were not the ones that came through always. Okay, so I mean, I literally printed out my consultant sheet that looks like this with all their addresses and everything. See this, like that? And I went through and talked to every single person individually. Some replied, some did not, and that's okay. But whoever wanted to play ball with me, I was playing ball with them. And just asking them, did they want to make some extra money to pay for spring break and help us finish this 4-time pink Cadillac? Made it about them. My next little thing was 700s. Our 700s. I'm like, okay, who wants a point towards the free cruise from me? And I worked with them. We had 13 or 14 people do that. And then thousands. One thing I want to tell y'all is 3 of the 4 people that did 1,000 went to career conference.
Yeah.
3 of the 4 that did 1,000 went to career conference. The other one I went and did a party with, and we sold it. And she was a personal that I had. She had been a customer that I met at a teacher lead appreciation 5 years ago. She'd been my customer for 5 years. She came to an event that I did at Calla Lily, and she said, I shared the opportunity just like normal. She's never been interested. She's always busy. And she said, remember when you told me, or I told you one day might be the day, but it wasn't that day. She said, but today's the day. And she signed up on the spot, came in qualified, and then did another 1,000 wholesale. And then Lori did 2,000 wholesale. How I met her is Chassie and I were doing our Christmas stop and shops in December. And I said, oh, let's pull over at this place, this oil change place. And I sold a perfume to a girl there. And we sold a lot of product that day, but I followed back up and said, did you redeem your gift card? I don't think you did. Booked her for a facial. She signed up that day. She came in qualified. She was a personal. She wouldn't do an in-person party. So I was like, okay, whatever. We're still doing it because we got to sell this product. And that's how she came in qualified. Lori was one of her 2 people that purchased, and she bought like $400 worth of product, followed up with her, and she signed up. Lori's now a brand new red jacket. 2 of her 4 people have came in as stars. So just to kind of tell you where those people came from. But on the very last day, I'll tell you about that at the end. Okay, so that's how I had it broken down. And then at the top right here, I have, okay, we have this, not this far from a Cadillac, but this to go from the Cadillac. And then I just had on there who is moving up and then who is new. So I had to look at all the things, and it's on my whiteboard, and we meet at my house in my office in that space right there. And so when people come, I stand in front of the whiteboard. So whenever they're looking at me for training, they're looking at the whiteboard. And one thing that I want to tell y'all that I thought was so unique, and you can't do this to everybody. You have to know, I call it the push-pull method. You have to know when you can say things and when you can't, and who you can say things to and who you can't. Y'all know what I mean? And we were at career conference, and Chassie, who, we're really great with each other's people. And I thought this was really brilliant. Victoria is younger than me, and she's been in my unit for, probably 10 years, 8 years. And she was in the other room talking to Chassie, and I was laying down in the other room because she just loves and adores Chastity. And she was like, okay, Chassie asked her what her goal was, and she was like to do her 700. And y'all want to tell y'all this, Victoria makes a goal, and she'll tell you this a lot of the time and never follows through. Okay? And she sent Chassie, I can't remember the exact message, Chassie will have to share it. But Chassie said, Victoria, your name's on that whiteboard, but it's blank beside it. Because Adrienne doesn't know what she can count on you for. And I was like, I didn't even know they had said that to each other, y'all, because I really left it blank because I was like, I need to know the definite answer of who is willing to work with me, who's willing to run with me. And it was blank. But I love her. It doesn't mean I don't love her. I love her unconditionally, but I just wasn't counting on her. You know what I mean? And so knowing that, and that changed Victoria's perspective about herself. And it wasn't an ugly way of saying it. It was like the perfect thing to say to her. And she went and did her 700. She actually did like 760. I was like, oh my God. Like praise Jesus. I'm going to do a backflip. But it took every little bit, every single person. But I thought that was so awesome that, whenever you pour into other people's people, they will come back and pour into yours at the exact needed time. And the Holy Spirit will fill their mouth with the exact words to say, to speak to them, because you've been obedient. So that's puzzle pieces that we did. Other things that I did was, I focused on faces, of course. I focused on the grab bags. This is something I didn't do till the last week though. So I don't recommend doing this until the very finish line, just like Cassandra said. You know how she sold repair sets? Well, I did Pink Caddy bags. I had my unit rallying around that. They sold $50 grab bags for $75 worth of product. Didn't matter what it was, but I sold them 100 for 50. $100 in product for 50. And so that was really a key thing, y'all, because it bumped that number down so fast. And so, y'all, this is perfect thing to do the next 3 quarters, but to focus on that. And then I just had my customers that I was selling grab bags to. And then I also asked them, would you reach out and help me sell 2 of these? Because then that got me down 150. You know what I mean? Would you be willing? You got one. Okay. Does your sister or mama want one? Would you be willing just to ask? And if not, that's okay. But I'm just asking you fearlessly and boldly. And so that's exactly what I did, y'all. One thing that I want to share is that we also have 3 rally cries. I know this is a lot of information, but this is things that have been happening for 6 months. Our 3 rally cries we're getting 2 new leads every single day. What does that look like? I'm talking to Susie Q in the line. I am. Whoever gives me my food or smiled at me yesterday, I'm saying, thank you so much. I have this beautiful and amazing coupon for you. Would love to bless you. Y'all who I bought chemicals from the other day, I'm calling her back today and booking her for the pool. I have it literally, it's on my 6 most important things to do list as soon as I get off of here. $1,000 in sales a month. That means 1,000 wholesale and 1,000 in your pocket. We're tracking that. Every single person tracking that. That's what I'm talking about, that every single week in our meeting. And then 30 faces, because that is part of our cruise. And then also just sharing stories on our unit where failure wasn't an option. Failure wasn't an option. Things that I also did was I was walking this morning, and y'all, I did not like to exercise. It does not make me happy. It doesn't. I love a Diet Coke. I have not been drinking that. I was in the Word daily. Literally my Bible. And I know you think I'm crazy. I'm I need a plan, because I need the people to tell me what to do. I can't just open it and be random. That does not work for me. I'm structured. So I'm reading it through chronologically, which you're going to hear me say that 5,000 times, and you're going to probably hate that word. But it is teaching me so much discipline to make a deliberate decision to be in God's Word, because it changed me. And I'm going to tell you in a minute how it changed my family. I walked almost every single day, and when I didn't, I just did something. Lifted weights for 5 minutes. I know that sounds crazy, but just something to get my body moving, because chemically it changes your body and the way that your brain can think when you're moving. And then the last thing that I want to remind you that doubt's going to happen, but the closer you get to your goal, the bigger the doubt's going to be. And every single time I felt nauseous, which was a lot, I just kept saying to myself, and I know I said this in the red class, but it's my accolade for the year. Lord, be with me and help everything that I do and touch prosper for your glory. Lord, be with me and help everything that I do and touch prosper for your glory. Even when, there was a lot of rejection the last week. I think I still needed 17,000. And I just thought, okay, Cassandra's story, she needed that in 2 days. Okay, I can go do this in 7. And I just spent 24 hours. I'm I can work hard for 24 hours. I'm so tired, but I'm going to teach my children BBA. So they saw me go through that. In the middle of all of this, Miles has played baseball for the first time. He's never played T-ball in his life. The first scrimmage that he had, we're in the last week of earning this Cadillac. And I'm if you can just freaking be good at school and not get in trouble in the dugout, we're going to be good. I need 7 more days of not getting in flipping trouble. Got it? Got it. Just 7 more days. And I looked at him and I felt his head like this. And I'm I just want you to know, I whispered in his little head, I just want you to know you're acting out more, because we're really close to doing something big. So if you can just get it together, we're going to be okay. Everybody was being flipping nuts. So I just whispered that to them. I just want you to be I want you to have some self-awareness that this is happening. And I'm getting to talk to your teacher because of this. So like a week to go, I still, I'm working, but I take time and pause and I go to the practice. And I have to because Blake's not home. But there's a big story to that too. But we're at practice and we're both there, me and Blake. We have to watch one run around, and then Miles strikes out for the first time. He does not know what that means because he's never struck out before, okay? So he gets ticked off and runs the bases anyways. And I'm talking about these are all the parents' mouths and all of his teammates' mouths. Okay, like he's running the bases anyways. He's like, nope, I'm running. He threw the batter in. Then he came off the dirt and he threw. I'm just going to tell y'all this is real life of what happened here, but then there's a story behind it. He threw his book bag down, leaving practice, and stomped on it. Oh my goodness. Number one, I was embarrassed. Number two, I was sick. So I whipped his butt in front of everybody. And then I actually did it twice because I got mad again and then put him in the pink Cadillac and drove. Actually, I didn't because I was so mad. I put him in his daddy's truck. I couldn't drive home with him. And him and Blake rode home, and Blake's like this. He doesn't get upset. Banks is in my car, and I'm just breathing hard trying to figure out what the heck he just did. And then Blake and him get home, and Blake's just like, just go inside with Banks. Y'all work, get him a bath. And what happened on that way home when them two were together, Miles said, you know what, Dad, I can be mad about striking out or I can go practice. And I thought, where did he learn that? He had a bad attitude, but I've been talking about that BBA all the time. I said, Miles, what's the rubber band like? When you pull it, it just springs back super fast. So guess what he did? He went out back in our backyard with Blake and he practiced for 2 hours every single night that week. And he don't even really love baseball. He just wants to do it because it's like a social thing because his friends are there and, it's cool to be with your friends now. But he did. And y'all, he is hitting the ball. It's something that he's not great at. He's never done in his life, but he's practiced. And he's not perfect, but he's getting better. One of those nights, it might have been Wednesday or Thursday. It was either after a Wednesday night call where we got, the peek in the pinks. They were still out there practicing. I'm like, y'all got to come in and go to bed. Y'all going to get in trouble tomorrow at school if you don't go to sleep. Well, Miles came in. He's like, Mom, just give us 5 more minutes. He came in and got waters and 2 apples, went outside. This is in the middle of finishing this Cadillac. It's not happening yet, right? It still looks huge and unbelievable. And he prays. I didn't know any of this until the next day. He prays over and blesses their little apples and their water and says, thank you, God, for letting my dad be here tonight. Thank you for letting me be a better teammate. Thank you for our time together. And thank you for letting my dad be here instead of at somebody else's practice. And I don't cry. Y'all know that. And Cassie and Summer know this too. And Blake's not home. He's on spring break, but he went to get Banks super quick. So I'm going to share this, but please don't repeat this. The next night, Blake wakes up crying. I've never seen him cry. Not even on our wedding day. Like nothing. And he's just tears filling his eyes. It was that same night, but it was at 12:30 in the middle of the night. He wakes me up and I'm like, oh God, what's wrong? Like I'm not even sleeping because I'm like, we got to get this number down. We got to get this done. And I'm not sleeping. Like, Lord, show me the way. And Blake just cries and he says, I just really saw Jesus a different way through my kids' eyes tonight. And he went in the next day and quit coaching. And he said, you know what? I have idolized, and Chassie knows this too. And I'm not saying like this is all because of this, but it just all goes together that he's like, you know what? I have idolized football my whole life. Blake had a wreck, and when he was younger, he was in a coma and flatlined 3 times and was in a coma for weeks. And when he woke up, all he knew was that he was a football player. He didn't know who his mom was. He didn't know what a clock was, nothing like that. That was before I met him. He said, I have really idolized that. And I have put that before my children. And I so envy the time that you have with our boys. And I have missed out. And y'all, like my mouth, I'm just like tears are flowing because I'm like, I never would in a million years believe that. Because 5A football was huge, right? And everybody wants to be a head football coach of a 5A program and make 6 figures. And there's a lot more to that. But I know Miles is learning so many different things by his dad being there. And so all because of what we've done consistently for 13 years. Does that make sense? It's not what's happened in the last 30 days. So anyways, so month end is on a Monday or Tuesday. I can't remember. I don't remember.
Monday. It was
Monday. Okay. Friday night, I have all these allergic reactions too this week. Sometime this week for some reason to pollen. Never have, not like this, but you know, the enemy is going to attack your health, your money, your family when you're doing something big. So just expect it. Friday night, I had to take 2 Benadryl. Well, then Miles wakes me up in the middle of the night. I'm like, what in the world? Can y'all people not sleep? Do I need to give y'all all melatonin? Like, what is going on? When I finally fall asleep. But anyways, so he wakes me up in the middle of the night. He said, Mama, you know I asked Jesus into my heart 2 years ago when we were sitting in my bed, but I want to be baptized now. I'm like, now? He's like, yes, tomorrow. I'm like, well, tomorrow's Saturday and I don't have the keys to the church. I mean, I can go in the backyard. But no, Sunday he walks up front on his own and, makes a proclamation of faith in front of his whole church by himself on his own decision. And I've always wanted that to be his decision. Okay, so we have 1 day or 2 days. I don't know, on the last day, I have worked so hard. And I know that I've given absolutely everything that I've got. Like, there is nothing left to give. Y'all know what I mean? Like, I'm in the pink Cadillac. There is no, like, this light comes on when you have about 52 miles left. There's no number on that light right now. That's how I feel. You know what I mean? Like, and Chassie and I have both had to go get each other because we ran out of gas. Like, that's just what we're willing to do. Like, I'm talking about physically, but I mean mentally right now. But I have literally ran out of gas on the side of 95 pregnant. So I just want you to know that's how I felt. But Chassie came over for moral support. And I'm like, you know what? It's going to be okay. I don't know how this is going to happen. The day before that, or 2 days before that, I did an orientation for a lady that randomly signed on Lori's team. So if I hadn't have done that Christmas stop and shop with Chassie in December, I wouldn't know Lori. She signed on Lori's team. Lori don't know her. She is not one of these fake people. She actually owns her own tax business in Loris, South Carolina, near Lori, and she only knows Lori because they're both business owners. I had done an orientation with her the day before that, and she just mentioned coming in as a star. And y'all, I was like, Lord, if that can go in, if you can make that happen, I know this is done. Because we're about 3,900, 3,600 left. I'm like, gosh, and I know all these other people are going to do it. I know that they are. They're going to do their orders. And so we go to Sonic because, well, we have bad habits on month end, and we're going to get a Diet Dr. Pepper Cherry. And she drives me because I can't even do that. And she places an order online. And I know I'm telling you all these details and you're like, this is so stupid, but it is all significant. The total for the order was $7.77. I'm like, what? That is the number of Jesus. That is the number of heaven. Okay, God, I trust you. She gets a new personal qualified team member while, not stupid, you know what I mean? I don't know the word. She gets a personal qualified while we're in the line at Sonic. We literally have to pull through and get that in. I have to do it for her and act like I'm her. And then we get home, and that girl who is an accountant and is in the middle of flipping tax season does an 1,800 wholesale order with her debit card. And we do more than enough. We do over. And so I just want to tell you that, like, you can do it. Like, that's with, and I'm not saying this like I know I desire DIQs. Like, that is my next rally cry. It's like building leaders, because that is my word for the year is lead. But that is with no DIQs. That is with nobody moving and shaking. So I just want to tell you, like, if that's where you're at, please go do it. And I don't want you to be like me. I want you to be better than me. But I just want to be a story for you that these are the tools that I did and it worked. And I didn't do anything crazy, just consistent. Nothing crazy, just consistency. and not taking no for an answer because I knew that, like, my family's life is changed because we are present. And I mean, I never thought I would hear Blake say those words ever. And, I've really been tired of doing it alone a lot. So just know that everything that we do and pour into people will come back to you in the perfect time. I cannot believe I'm crying. I took my medicine. I should not be emotional. Okay, I'm trying to get it together. But I just want you to believe that you can do it because you can. But you have got to be willing to go to bat even when you strike out. Figuratively, literally, all the things. And I looked over in the dugout Thursday, which I don't even know baseball rules, y'all. I just know football stuff. And I scream when you're not supposed to and squeal when you're not supposed to. And Blake's like, shh. And, I yell at him to do stuff. And he's like, coaches hate that. Well, I don't care. I made him. So I look over, and the only person cheering for the person batting is Miles. And I just thought, thank you, God, for letting me be here. But also thank you for teaching me to pour into my children and into other people. Because there was no other kid doing that. So I can't really see my paper. I'm trying to get it together. But that's how we got there. And it was one of the hardest things I've ever done. But one thing I said to somebody, I can't even remember how I said it. It was one of the hardest goals I've ever met. But now I have a new muscle to go build leaders. Right? Like we have to build new muscles. And we have to be willing to lift the weight even when it's super heavy and when you're doing it by yourself. But I was willing to do it. And so I just wanted to do it so that way you could believe that you could go do it too. Because I mean, I haven't done anything great in a couple years. So I just wanted to pour belief into you. And so I'm so excited to see those freaking block letters, Cassandra. And for more French fries to ruin the carpet. I can't wait. And I'm so glad because my bumpers on the wheels are so scratched from so many I'm like, that's first world problems. We should be so grateful to be able to even earn a car. So why are we not doing it?
Oh my gosh, Adrian. I just want to say to you, I think this one was hard because it was about spiritual warfare over your husband. And that's the breakthrough that had to happen. And if you had finished it early, I really don't think that moment would have happened. And
Right.
I know that you have just worked hard for a long time. And I know that this is going to be just the beginning of a whole new victory season for your whole family, not just for your business. And that when you look back, it's going to be the moment that changed everything. And Blake and Miles had to have that moment. Like that is so much more important than any car you could ever earn. But God works it all together for good, right? Like, and watching you just not give up. And I just think about you guys. Number one, you're in April. You're in a lot better place than October through March to do.
Mhm.
I mean, think about everything that's happened in our country, October through March of this year, the election, most division ever in our country, record inflation, people's attitudes are horrible. They're getting better. They're getting better. They're getting better. But I'm saying, like, she was working her butt off and not seeing the numbers she usually saw. It wasn't because she wasn't working, though. Like, we all felt that October through really January. That February it started to get a little bit better. March definitely got better. But I just am so inspired by your ability to push through it all. And I'm just so grateful for your world-class leadership. And this is going to be where this national area is going to come from. And I know so many people that are in your unit right now are going to be directors in that national area from being part of this victory. And I'm just so grateful for you. Oh my gosh, so grateful for you. Somebody else you want to unmute and affirm her, something she shared that blessed you today that you needed to hear?
Adrian, I just love your guts so much. And, you know, we don't understand sometimes. We think we're fighting for a physical victory on a piece of paper, but our prayers and things that we may not even realize are going to continue way after this. Because I know near my husband's death, he was praying for our family, our kids to get back in church. And that prayer was answered because of his funeral service. My daughter met the pastor. And so all these divine connections that you have made, you are changing women's lives forever through the battle of this Cadillac. And it's about your family and everybody else. Said thank you for being brave and bold and courageous. We love you.
Thank you.
Amen. And I love, love, love seeing, like, with your word being lead, you know, and you are such an amazing leader, but look at how that word has transferred in those prayers, like with your husband leading and with your boys leading. Like, that is just so incredible. I just love seeing what God does through you, sister. So proud of you.
I borrowed Cassandra's woo. I was like, we're gonna do it. We're 40,000 million away.
I need to say this too. This is like, she broke my heart on the cruise because she looked at me and she said, and she just said a minute ago, I hadn't done anything great in the last couple of years. Yes, you have. You have been a faithful wife. You have been a faithful mom, and you have been a faithful leader. And I looked at her when she said, I haven't done anything. I haven't been at my best. And I looked back at her and I said, don't ever say that again. You have been at your best. The scoreboard does not reflect your best, Adrian. You are at your best. The results will come. But I want to say that to all of you today. The scoreboard does not determine your best. It doesn't. That's just a piece of our life, y'all. That when you're in heaven, Jesus is not going to be like, you missed that goal by $2. Like, that was not your best. That's not what he's going to do. I mean, we got to chase after the things, because the people in the story are the everything. And the people don't come to us if we give up on the goal. That's the thing. But she has been at her best. She just hasn't seen her best results. And so if you're at that place today, take encouragement from the story, because the scoreboard is just the thing, y'all. It's just the thing. It's not who you are on the inside. Who else wants to share something?
I do. I love it, Adrian. I love watching you. I love who you are. You know, I think that's the biggest thing I've learned from this business is that who you are shines through more than anything else. And who you are determines what you do. You know, who you are determines the activity that you pursue and the people that you pursue. And I love that quote from Henry Kissinger, diamond is just a coal that did well under pressure. And you are a diamond. And I'm with Summer, you know, I can't believe that you, I know how life just impacts us sometimes, and we are disappointed because we think we're going to be further along and we're not, but you are a shining example in this whole faith area, and you constantly are, whether you're at the top of the scoreboard or not. You know, there's just so many things about you that I want to emulate. And I love you, and I am so grateful that you birthed this baby Cadillac. You know, it's like that in so many different ways, you know, and you knew, I mean, it was coming. I mean, we knew it was coming. I had no doubt, zero doubt that you were going to, you know, you with God's help, we're going to make this happen. So congratulations to you, to your team, and to your family. God is, he does, what is it? Abundantly more than we can ask or imagine. And he
Thank
just,
you. That was an 11-pound baby with no epidural.
Yes. Oh my
my goodness, my sweet friend, I'm so proud of you. I'm so grateful. And I just sit here and I hear your story and I'm just like, thank you, Lord, for putting her in my great grandma's house 9 years ago. You, and yeah, you can never ever say you haven't done anything great the past few years. You do great things every single day of your life. You're like the definition of never give up and push through. And every 29 women on this Zoom, they're blessed every single day just from having you in their presence. And so you are a leader of leader. You are a national sales director. It's just getting it on paper because there are 20 women like the rest of us that are waiting to be led by you. And I love you. And I'm just grateful for your friendship. My children are who they are because I met you through Mary Kay. And there is no doubt about it. And you cannot put a price tag on that. You cannot put a gold finish on that. You cannot put a pink Cadillac on that. And I'm just grateful. I'm so grateful I get to do life with you.
Thank you.
You've become like my big sister instead of me being the big sister. I feel like we've changed roles here lately. Big sis is like whipping me. I love you though. I love you so much.
This is the most I ever cry ever. So this is it. Thank you.
You have to cry a lot to become a national. So it's just the journey is beginning, friend. I'm telling you, the first 90 days Craig and I were married, y'all. I took a week off to go to the beach to get married, to have a 2-day honeymoon. We came home and finished 8, 9 DIQs, and I spent the first 90 days saying, I really am not crazy, I promise. It's just this goal. I can't quit crying. It's the soul. When the soul gets stirred, the tears just come, y'all. And oh gosh, if you're not inspired after being on here today, I got nothing for you. I got nothing else for you. Like, this is what this is all about, y'all. And this is why your victory, you can't give up on it. Because what is at stake for your friends and family in the not give up moments of, I'm going to trust you, God, when it looks impossible. I'm going to trust you, God, when it is impossible. I'm going to trust you, God, and keep being faithful and watch you show up for me and my family and all the people. But so many people give up before the finish line, and so they forfeit these stories. Don't forfeit your story. Don't forfeit your promised land that you're journeying toward right now. And those are all different for us because we're at different places in our journeys and stories and lives, but don't forfeit it. And Adrian has just lived that out in front of us in such a gigantic way. And so, you guys were really looking for those 10 Cadillacs, and that's like a lot for our area right now, but we've had almost that many before. And why not you, and why not now? And don't wait until June. I think that's what Adrian would tell you today, is like, you have the 3 best months of the seminar year to go do this thing. The 3 best months. The sun is out after a long winter of sickness and blah, and some of the prices are coming down. People are feeling more hopeful right now. Run in those moments. Run in those moments and do it now. What is going to change in your family's life because you're willing to put a stake in the ground and be like, I'm not going to accept anything less than this victory. And this is going to be for God to get the glory, not me, right? Like, that is the reason for it all. But I just want to tell you all, I love your guts so much. What's your benchmark goal by Friday? I want you to send it to me. Are you setting those benchmark goals? What are you going to do when you get to Good Friday? So you can take the weekend with your family and celebrate the resurrection of our King, y'all. Like, you deserve that time with your family, guilt-free. Where are you going to be by Friday to make it happen? Put it on paper this morning, and then remember why you're really running. Gosh, what a great day. This is one of the best Zooms we ever had, don't you think? This one's going to be replayed and replayed and replayed and replayed and replayed and replayed. And Craig will put it out there. So those of you who are running for that Cadillac, you can go listen to it every day while you're walking. Over and over and over, to remember that it's worth it. It's all worth it. All right, y'all. Thank you for being on here this morning. I love your guts. Let's make big, gigantic strides this week. And, if you haven't made that list of reasons why, the next level is so important to you. Whatever your next level is, whether it's a car, a unit size, or the next car, or whatever you're running for. Make that list of reasons why, y'all, today. And God is going to show you reasons you don't even have on the list. That's the most beautiful part of any journey to a goal, is the process brings so much more than we ever ask or imagine for. So I love you guys. Can't wait to see what all your victories are for this week. Thank you, Adrian. Thank you for living it out, for taking time to share with us today. And I know the Fortenberry Faith area will be forever different because of this Zoom today, but most importantly, because of who you are every day. You are imprinted on, you're part of all of us. And all of you are part of each other, and you all have such an impact. Don't ever forget that. I love you, friends. Have an absolutely amazing miracle-filled Monday.